Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. We haven't seen this for an absolute age. I'm going to be doing the next 5 stages of the Fanhome release and build the Back to the Future DeLorean.
Are we back? We're back.
Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. There's 2 stages of this whole build which just brings fear into my heart, and that is stages 48 and stages 91. Now, if you've done the build before, you know exactly what stages that I'm talking about. Well, today I'm actually going to be doing stages 47 to 51, which means stage 48 is in there, which means we're going to be doing lots of wire work. So this time, because this is the second time I've built a DeLorean, I'm making sure I've got these magnifying glasses. Definitely a very important thing to have, and also a really good set of tweezers. Going to need those as well, and obviously I'm going to need some glue as well. But it is pretty in-depth, so I don't know how long today's video is going to take. I will let you know the recording time. At the moment we're at 1 minute 15 seconds, but I will tell you at the end exactly how long this took. But you're going to enjoy this if you've never seen this before. Now, I don't know if this is available, but I have put a link in the video description, and there's a QR code on the screen, so you can check that for yourself. But stage 47 isn't as bad as stage 48 is. Trust me, stage 48, let's get cracking. So here's stage 47. As you can see, we've got a lot to do with the console panel, with the steering wheel, the indicators, the steering column, dashboard base, loads there. So we're going to be putting all of this together like you can see there. So this is pretty much the calm before the storm. Let's do this. So everything for stage 47 is in this bag. Let's get this open. And the first thing I want to do is I want to take this little section here, which is going to be the base of the steering column. And as you can see, we do have 2 rectangular notches. That's for these indicator stalks to go in. So I've got one going in that side and one going in this side. I am just going to put my magnifying glasses on just to make sure I haven't put these in upside down. No, they're good. They should be facing forward, and that's how they look there. And then quite simply, to stop them falling out, I've got the top cover here, which is just going to go on here like that. That's going to keep those in. And I'm holding it in with BP screws. Be careful, because the instructions say AP screws in the picture, but in the writing it says BP. We don't actually have any AP screws, so it is BP screws that we're going to be using. Let's just put them through the base, one this side, and then just one on the other side. So as you can see, these can move, which is good. Okay, I want to bring over the dashboard. We haven't seen this for a long while. Turn it upside down, get these wires out the way, and then this, probably best on the top camera, is just going to be fitting into that point just there, and it's held in with FP screws. So I need 2 of these. That's 1, and that one's 2. So that's looking like that. Let me just put that to one side, and I need to bring over this bracket, which looks like that, which has this channel going down the end here. Now I've got a bracket to put over that, which is going to house the steering column. And that's going to go on there, just like that. Once again, holding that in with BP screws. So when that's in, it's created that little hole section just there. Bring over the dashboard again. Make sure these wires are out the way. They want to get everywhere, those wires. Because I'm going to be putting this into place. It just goes over the lugs here. Like this. Perfect. Get that pushed into place. And again, I've got these FP screws to hold this in. Now we need 4 of these. It's just the last one going in there. And then I want to take the steering column now. And that's going to go through that port there. And it's going to come out the front just like that there. All that's left to do then, this is shaped, is to put the steering wheel on the end. Now if you have a look here, when that's in that position there. But I do need to screw this into place with a BM screw. So now that's in tight, and then I do have this cover here that's just going to go over to hide that screw hole. And push it into place just like that. So that's how that steering wheel is looking. All that's left to do then is to take the center console, which we created, and as you can see, we've got 2 lugs at the bottom that's going to go into those 2 holes there, just like this. And then from the underside here, I'm holding that in with FP screws. Make sure there's no pinched wires in this. because now that's in place, and that is all there is to do in that stage. Okay, stage 48, here it is in all its glory. Let me show you. All we've got in here is loads and loads of wires and cable ties. We've got a few screws as well, and we have got a separator. So what I'm going to be doing is tracing some of these wires around here through the center tunnel. Once that's all tidied up, then I'm going to be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different wires and threading them through this separator like this. You can see that's going to be quite a fiddly thing to do. So we've got it looking just like that there. Once we've done that, we're going to be twisting the end, putting this onto the dashboard, and then tracing the wires around the dashboard just like this. All wire work this is, using cable ties to keep them tidy. So by the end, there's loads to do, even in these little bits here. Look, putting them into these sections here. It's going to look like this. This is going to be one hell of an issue. As you can see in the next part, more wires. So, in its glory, there's all the parts for stage 48. Let's get these out. And before we work on that, I'm just going to be bringing over this dashboard here that we've been working on before. Because what I want to do is take the yellow cable that's coming from here, the little speedo there, and I want to put that in between these points just here. So I'm going to pinch it down. This is why I need my tweezers. So probably best on the top camera, you can see that's going between this point here. It's going to be going around the dashboard, and then it's going to go underneath the dashboard here like this, round here, so then it can go down the center tunnel just like that. So all of these leads that I've got here now will be able to go down this center tunnel. Now I want to keep things tidy at the moment, so what I'm going to do is just put some tape down to train these into place. Now the instructions don't ask you to do that, but I've done that just to keep things tidy for the next stage. But that is currently how that's looking. Okay, let's put that to one side. I want to bring over this little separator, and I want the sloped section of this top to be pointing away from me. And I'm going to be sorting out some wires here into their different colours. So you should have a lead like this, which is already pre-wound at the end, but it is straight at this end here. And I'm going to be putting them into the colours red, red, white, white, black, black, yellow, yellow, and then a brown wire. So I've just separated out the red wires first. And all I'm going to do is put one through the hole here at this very far left end. You will need tweezers for this, because tweezers will give you the torque to push that through, you see, just like that. And then I'm going to be looping it round and going through the hole on the other side. Now at the moment it's not telling you how much to push through, so what I recommend is, if I just open this loop up, because you can move these around afterwards, is to make sure that this goes at least halfway down this wire. So I'm just threading this through here. It's like sewing. And you are really taking a guess at this. So I've put it just there, halfway down. So the next one I'm going to put in is the next red wire. And I'm going to continue doing that. Let me just show you on the top camera for all the other wires. And there you go. So again, I'm going to show you on the top camera. The object is to keep everything tidy and in its lane there, as you can see. Now you see how this end is here is twisted? We're going to want to do the same with the ends over here. But we do want the wires to be spaced out in the middle. So I'm going to sort of pinch it to about there. And this is where I'm going to start twisting the wires, like this. Now I do have OCD, so I'm just going to snip off that little excess there. Okay, what I want to do now is bring over the floor pan, and I'm going to be mounting what we've created into the floor pan. So, just lining everything up. till it fits perfectly. That's how the steering rod should be in the back there. I'm holding the floor pan in with FP screws. So I've got 2 holes down the bottom. Let's get them in. And there's 2 holes just at the top here. You want to be in these outer holes, not the inner ones. So this is going to be sitting on top just here, and you need to make sure we've got enough of this wire that's going to be able to go through the bottom here. Now at the moment I'm a little bit short on this side here, so what I'm going to have to do is move this to around about there. So there you go, that's more in the middle, because what's going to happen, this is going to sit flat in there just like that. So I need a tiny bit of glue. I'm going to put some glue just on these blades and just hold that into position, and then let the glue do its thing. Now one side of these wires is going to go around the outside here, down the side of the dashboard, and it's going to go out of the hole just at the back here, like this. And I'm just going to fold that down to keep that into place. The other wire is going to go on top of these plutonium circuits here, down the side, like this. Just going to hold this with my thumb at the top, and I'm threading it through. There's a little box at the back here, so it can come out the back just like that. And that's how that's looking on top at the moment. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that's not looking too bad. Now I need this thick black cable, it's more like tubing this is, and this yellow wire, and I want to put these 2 together like this. And again, find the halfway point for this, because I'm going to be feeding this down the front of where I just put that speedo wire right at the start. So one there and one there. Using my tweezers to help thread this down. Excellent. And once again, I'm going to be following the line of this wire just here. So it's going to go round the back, following this wire down so it comes out of the back here. So let me just show you that. My thumb is going to pinch it into position just so I can thread this through these 2 points there. And then just fold it down. That should keep that into place. Now on the other side, exactly the same thing. It's going to go down the side of the dashboard here. Keep my thumb there, my finger, so it can come out of the bottom. Whoops. Just there. Now I'm going to employ some insulating tape just to help hold this into the position here. A lot of this is training the wires where you want them to go. That's just temporary, it's not staying there. Now I've got this bit of red wire which has got 2 wires in it. Again, it's going to follow all of these wires that are going down the bottom here. But I do need to leave a lot of slack because this has got to get round to these units just here. So what I'm going to do is check how much distance I've got, perhaps a bit more. So that there's going to be ample to be able to get to these red boxes over here. That looks good. And this is now where I'm going to be using my first piece of cable tie, because I'm going to be cable tying all of these wires up here. Now I want the cable tie to be sitting on top, just like that, not the side, otherwise you're going to impede this when it goes into the car. So that's fine, and then I can just snip off the excess. Now, I've got 2 cables here, 48F and 48H. So what I need to do is thread them through the bottom, just like the other ones were. Matter of fact, it might be best to come from the back out to the front, like this. And I want this into the position just on top there. You do want quite a bit of excess in that. So what I'm going to do, put some tape down to hold that into place. I'm going to do the same with the other red one, which is going to be coming out of the other side of the car where the steering wheel is. And I've kind of wedged that in there, no problems at all. So there's ample of this here to go into these red blocks at the back. And this is just coming out of the hole at the back here. So once again, I'm going to need another cable tie to put all of this together. Just going to thread that through here and seal this up. Snip off the excess. Another cable tie on this side, which is going to hold all of these leads together here, and snip that. And then I've got this last load of cables here, which is blocked at one end, so that section's just going to go on the steering wheel side here, just through the hole. And it's going to go up this end here, because all of these cables here, just lining this up, are going to be going into the back of these blocks just here. So the last cable tie is going to be holding all of this in just at the side here. Again, keep the cable tie away from the side, otherwise you're not going to be able to get it into the car when we finally put this in. Okay, I can remove what tape I put down now, because we're going to start putting all of these cables into place. So where we've got these two red ones first, they're going to go into the first two holes that we've got into this red block here. Now, I am going to be putting some glue just on the ends of these so that they don't fall out. I'm not worried about how pretty they look at the moment. I'm just more interested in getting them in. So one in there and this one next to it. Perfect. So that's those two in. Now the four leads that are coming on here are going to be filling up the rest of the two on this side, and one on this side, and one just onto the left there. So I'm going to put that one in. There we go. And that's them in on that side. Now the two that are coming from this box here are going to go into the two holes here. And then the rest of these leads here are going to go into all the holes that are left over. So I'm going to show you on the top camera. That's how that's looking. And the last cables to go in are all of these coloured cables. And they're going to go in red, yellow, red, blue, red, yellow, red, blue in that order. So again, I might glue these. Let's just see how they go into the backs of these. I don't think I need to glue them actually. They go in quite far. So I'll get all these in and show you what this looks like. There we go. Look, that's one line in. That's looking really good. Let's do the other lot. Now put some glue just on that last red wire there, because this is just going into the hole just at the side here. And there you go. With all of them in, that's stage 48 complete. You know what? That wasn't as hard as it was first time around. Definitely, these two things make things a lot easier. So in stage 49, we do have some more cables, albeit not as big as the last ones, but we are still putting lots of cables in, and we are putting some little cable tidies at the back there. Got some seat belts to put in as well. But once we've done that, it's going to look just like this here. I'll keep turning. And next time, or the next stages, we're going to be starting the seats. So all the parts for stage 49 are in here, and I think the first thing we're going to need is not the wires, it's actually the seat belts. So bringing over the floor pan here, the seat belts are just going to be going into the positions just here, like this. There is a locating lug, but we do need to put a screw in. It's an IP screw we're going to be putting in to hold that into place. So one on that side, and in a similar way we're going to be putting one on the other side, just like that. Excellent. Put that to one side. Now I'm going to need a whole heap of cables here. I need this red and black cable with the end already twisted together for us. I need this pipe cable here, which has got this plastic end. I want to make sure the plastic end is away from the twisted end, so that goes together like that. And then finally, I want the multicoloured cable here, which has got this at the end here. Again, I want to make sure it's the twisted end that is together. So we should have all the plastic plugs at one end and all the twisted plugs at the other end here. What I'm going to do, bring over the dashboard, and I want to thread this through that hole at the bottom. So if we've done it right, all three of them should be coming out from this side, and we're in a position now where we can actually put a cable tie onto this. Now that's going to be held in with AP screws, and that locks that all in just like that. Now I will cut off the excess afterwards, just so it's not coming past this line here. Then I want these two black cables, again with plugs on the end, 49C these are. That's going through the same hole that these ones just went through. At this stage, you might find it easier to actually thread them through the back and then pull them out through the front like this. So that's one. Let's do the other one here. A lot easier to get to. And then make sure they go all the way through, because what I want to do is pin these into position in these 2 points just at the top here. So for that reason, I've got a smaller little tab here, which goes on the top. Once again, held in with an AP screw. Now I want to group these wires together here. And I'm going to be putting a cable tie just around this to bundle them all together. Once again, snip off the excess there. And then a little bit further down, just by the belt here. Make sure they're all bundled together. I'm going to put another cable tie. Snip off the excess. And this is eventually going to be trunking its way down the side. Now the seats is what's going to hold that into position there. For now, you can just leave that lying as it is like that. All that's left on the other side is to take the two cables to the left, which is a black one and a multicoloured one, and put the last two cable ties in to hold these two together. Just like that. Snip off the excess. Remember, it's this side that we want towards the back of the car, so this bit's going to go through the dashboard. It's going to thread them through the hole here, so they come out the back, just like this. And then once again, going to have a cable tie to hold these into position. Slightly different this way though. Let me show you why. Because when I put these in, including this red cable I've got here, I need an AP screw on one side here. That's going to get that in. But the other side's slightly bigger, so I actually need a GP screw just in the other side there. I can actually remove that now, because we're just going to be clamping off the wires just on these sides now. Once again, it's going to be an AP screw one side, a GP screw on the other. And then do the same on this side. And they're in place. Excellent. So I just want to check how much lead I've got. So before I go snipping wires at the back, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got enough lead to go into the firewall at the back. So these should be coming over this line here. So these will be able to plug in there, no problems at all. But that is the end of that stage. And that means we're now finished with all those wires. And now we're going to be moving on to the seats. So I'm going to be creating the seat looking like this and installing this into the car like that. This is the rest of the magazine. And you know what? Before I bring that over, I'm going to show you stage 51 as well, because we're going to be doing exactly the same thing in stage 51, creating the other seat and putting that into position as well. So that's why I'm going to do both of these stages together. Look at this, more cables in the next pack. So let's do 2 packs at the same time. So the first thing I want are the rubber backs to these seats. And what we're going to be doing, one's already been done for us actually, is putting this metal plate inside it like that. That's convenient, that's been done. I still need to do that for this side though. This is what it looks like, and we need to actually just put the, probably best on the top camera, these lugs and slide it down over them, making sure they engage in every single side, which looks good. So when I push that in, it's going to keep that into place. So there's 2 of them done so far. Just put them to one side because I need the base now. And again, one's already been done for me here. This is a flexible rubber base, but you want to put a sponge in it. And the one on this side has been done for us as well. So that's convenient as well. As a matter of fact, I think it should be in that way. There you go. But in a similar way to what we've done there, we've got some metal plates here which are going to go over the top of this section to hold the base in. Just going to line everything up and push that in. So that's one done. Let's do the one on this side. And that looks good. Excellent. I think they've gave me an extra bit of sponge here. I don't need that. So, Going to be taking this side here and this side here and putting both of these together. So they're making a seat just like this. What I need to do is in this side here, we've got a little keyhole pattern for these chair adjusters to go in. So I need to make sure that these match the keyhole pattern on this side. So it fits nice and flush in there. Put one in the other side as well. So they need to be flush in there. And for what I've done with one, I'm going to do with the other one over here. They're a bit funky to get in. But to hold them in, we're going to be holding them in with these flanged HP screws. And I need to put one on each side. So one there, one on the other side. Do the same on the other chair. I keep calling them chair, they're seats. I apologise for that. It's force of habit with these builds. Seats. Do that the same on the other seat. Then we're going to put the backs on. So one on this side. One on the other side. And while I'm in position for that, I'm going to put the bases on as well. One on this side. They are shaped, so you need to make sure you've got the right seat for each one. And as you can see, we've got 4 screw holes on each plate here. They're going to be held in with these DM screws. So rather than you watch me screw loads of things in, I'm going to do this now and we'll come back and see how this looks. Okay, bring over the floor pan here. You know what chair we've got because this catch here will be towards the outside. So this is the driver's chair. I'm going to be putting this into the 2 slots that you can see at the bottom there. Making sure I'm not pinching the wires or the seat belt. So keep the seat belt out the way. Just turning that upside down so you can see how that looks there. I'm going to be holding that into place with some of these flanged HP screws. So one here. You do want it tight, not too tight, because you do want to be able to move these seats. I keep calling them chairs. Why do I keep calling them chairs? And one this side. And there we go, that's into place. Now I can tidy this wire up by making sure it's passing underneath this section. I want to make sure that the seat belt is able to be seen as well. And I can just tuck this wire along the edge of the chair here. And you see what I mean about that being held into place now? So that's one seat in. Calling them chairs. Do the same on the other side again, making sure we're not pinching anything. I'm actually doing it this way, holding the seatbelt up, which keeps the wire out of the way. So then I can put the seat in. Once again, screw that into place. Make sure the seatbelt is along the chair side there. The wire that's coming from this side has gone into that center section really well. But that is all there is to do in that stage, and a very scary pack that is now complete. That's all there is to do in that pack. Now, you know what? You could spend all day tidying these wires up to exactly how you want them, but I like the scruffy look. I like them looking like that. I think that looks brilliant, though. And there you go. You know what? That's just such a godsend. It's such a weight lifted off my mind because I was worried about doing this. I remember how much hassle I had the first time I did it, but that is looking pretty good. Once again, if you want to get this for yourself, I'll put a link in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.